Assalamu alaikum students. Today we are going to start the first chapter, Pakistan Zindabad. The chapter Pakistan Zindabad has been divided into two parts. The first part is about Qaid's warm welcome at Karachi on 7th August 1947. How people showed their respect and great love for their calm and dignified leader Quaid-e-Azam is descriptively told in the first part of the chapter. And this incident is actually happened a week before the independence. The second part of the chapter is about the struggle for independence, the efforts of Muslim League and Muhammad Ali Jinnah to make their dream of independence possible. It highlights the annexation of Muslim states, betrayal of Kashmiri Maharaja, terrible time of partition, and ends on the death of Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah. So in the second part, there are details regarding Muslim League and Muhammad Ali Jinnah's efforts and strategy to make the Pakistan happen. Then it highlights the important parts that when Kashmiri Maharaja betrayed the Muslims of his area and refused them to be annexed with the Muslim state Pakistan. Then it also talks about the terrible time at the partition. There were killings, there were massacre. It was considered to be the terrible first year at the time of independence. And then it moves on to the death of Quaid-e-Azam because he fought for a very long time and he falls sick during this process and he left his people and his country very soon. So the chapter ends with this note. Pakistan Zindabad. Karachi, August 7, 1947. A shining silver aircraft circled over the airport at Maripur and came smoothly into land, watched by a vast excited crowd. First to step out of the aeroplane was a tall and very dignified elderly man, wearing pure white sherwani. As soon as he appeared, the whole crowd roared with one voice, Pakistan Zindabad, Pakistan Zindabad, and every man pushed forward to welcome him, to get as close to him as to see him clearly. So on 7th August 1947, Quaid-e-Azam reached at the airport of Maripur in Karachi. And at that time, everyone was so eager to meet him. There was a crowd assembled in the airport of Maripur. All of the people, local people of that area, crowded the area and they were all waiting for Quaid-e-Azam to step out of his aircraft. First they were waiting for him and when the aircraft landed, they were waiting for him to come out of it. When he came out, it was seen that he was wearing pure white sherwani, a very dignified color indeed for a very dignified personality. And as soon as he stepped out of it, everyone roared with one voice, Pakistan Zindabad. And this is what they actually showed their true sentiment at that time. They were so much excited to greet the person who actually made their dream possible. For here was their great leader, the Quaid-e-Azam, the originator and the first Governor General of their new country. Here home with them at last was the leader who had won Pakistan for them, Muhammad Ali Jinnah. So this is a small picture. Maybe it is of the same time or of a different time, but it shows that he is wearing white sherwani and is stepping out of the airplane. As he drove through the great sea of people that stretched from the airport to the city, through all the cheers and tears of joy, and the never-ceasing cries of Pakistan Zindabad, the Quaid-e-Azam gave no sign of his feelings. He rarely did so. If he felt pride or joy, what he had done, he did not let anybody see. Through all the excitement of these first days in the life of the young nation, the men who had made it possible remained calm, serious, and even severe. So it is told here that as he drove through the city and from everywhere he can see the crowd cheering and there were tears in the eyes of the people with so much joy to see the Quaid-e-Azam. And not only that, they actually got their new country and they were all cheering and chanting slogans Pakistan Zindabad, and it seems that it was never ceasing. At that particular time, just imagine that what kind of sentiment was running through in the environment. Even at that time, Qaid Azam gave no sign of his feelings because it is told that he rarely did so. Rarely did so means he hardly ever expresses his personal emotions in the crowd. Whatever he felt, pride or joy, he never let other people see it. So at that particular day, he was also calm, serious, and even severe. And it could be possible that a good leader also have these qualities, that they never show their emotions in front of the public because everyone is looking at them, so they have to control their emotions. Or there could be another reason. Perhaps he was thinking of the thousands who were being attacked and killed on the roads and railways as they tried to reach their new homelands. There was much in those days of violence to Sarin Jinnah, who was a man of very strong feelings, although he so rarely showed them. Yet those who were close to him on Independence Day sometimes saw for a few moments a happier man. Once he went to a balcony of the government house where he could see without being seen, and as he looked down on the crowd still cheering in the streets outside, he smiled. In that smile could be seen the warm hearted man behind the stern Qaid Azam. So it is said that it is very much possible at that time of partition, when the killings were happening, when the massacres were happening, the people who were migrating from one country to another place, they were killed on roads and on railways, and it was being done by the both sides. Hindus and Sikhs were doing on Muslims, and Muslims were doing it on Hindus. So it is going on in between the two borders. Now, the why it is happening? At that time, the border was not marked until 14th August, but it actually was demarcated on papers. So on papers, they knew that where Pakistan is now and where is India. So they were crossing the borders to go to their new lands, homelands. Now the thing is that why they were killing each other. Of course, at that time there was a lot of hostility. They were not friends with each other. They have this enmity now, which has started from the days of the Britishers, and they don't like each other. This is what we are going to study further, where Gandhi and Jinnah, when they had their meeting, it was understood that the Muslims and Hindus can't live together for a very long time. It is impossible, and since Muslims were in minority, so they have to have their own land. And since Congress was not in the favor of partition and Muslim leagues were in the favor of partition, they actually make it happen in the favor of the two nations, that they should be living separately. But what were the sentiments among the Hindus and Muslims in the common public sector? It is that they were enemies now, and that's why they killed people in large numbers so that they don't reach their new homelands. So that was something which saddened Qaid Azam a lot. This is something which he understood that will happen, and he hoped that it never could have happened and they could have the partition just like that, but it was not possible. So this is what burdened his heart at the time, even though they were there and they have achieved their goal. But it is said that even it is not like that the Qaid Azam was very cold hearted or cold person who never shows his emotions. It is said that at one time after independence, and maybe at the time of the independence, he was in the government house, and in the balcony, when he could see all the crowd and the crowd can't see him back, he smiled. And this was actually witnessed by one of the person or two who were standing near Qaid Azam. So it tells us about the Qaid Azam's personality, that he was a warm-hearted man as well. And it's true that only a person who could feel the emotions of the people, of the public, and of himself could be the only person fighting for these people. So he was not cold-hearted; he was warm-hearted person, but not showing the emotions, and that shows that he was very strong person. He was a dignified personality. He knows that what to express at what time, and he has a good control over his personal emotions, but it doesn't mean that he was not a person with a good heart or a warm heart towards his own kind. Let me explain it clearly now. हुआ ये था कि 7 अगस्त 1947 को जब कायदे आज़म मारीपुर के एयरपोर्ट पे पहुंचे तो उससे पहले उनको रिसीव करने के लिए वहाँ के इलाकाई लोग वहाँ पे जमा हो चुके थे. काफ़ी बहुत बड़ा ह्यूज क्राउड था जो उनको एक्सपेक्ट कर रहा था कि वो पहुँचेंगे और वो उनको रिसीव करेंगे. वो इतनी एक्साइटमेंट थी उनमें और इतना जोश और जज्बा था कि जब कायदे आज़म का एयरक्राफ्ट लैंड करता है और वो उसमें से स्टेप आउट होते हैं, वाइट शेरवानी उन्होंने पहनी हुई होती है, बस लोगों का तो जज्बात का जैसे कि एक बहुत ही स्ट्रॉन्ग जज्बा था जो उन्होंने उस वक्त दिखाया. एक तो नारों के ज़रिए कि उन्होंने पाकिस्तान जिंदाबाद के नारे खूब लगाए, पूरी एनवायरनमेंट गूंज रही होगी इन नारों से. और इसके अलावा उनकी कोशिश होती थी कि वो कायदे आज़म के करीब तरीन पहुँच जाए और उनको वो क्लियरली देख सकें, क्योंकि आखिरकार वो वही लीडर थे कि जिन्होंने उनका ख्वाब पूरा किया था पाकिस्तान का. फिर वो कहते हैं कि कायदे आज़म जब अपना गाड़ी में बैठकर शहर की तरफ निकले तो दोनों तरफ और पीछे सब जगह उनके पास क्राउड था, जो दूर दूर तक उनको सिर्फ क्राउड नज़र आ रहा था और जो बस जोश में आके चीख रहे थे पाकिस्तान जिंदाबाद, नारे लगा रहे थे और जोश और जज्बे की हालत थी कि उनकी आंखों में आंसू भी थे. विक्ट्री मिल गई थी ना, कामयाबी मिल गई थी, तो वो जोश और जज्बा उस वक्त पूरे एनवायरनमेंट में था, पूरे माहौल में ये एक ही आवाज़ गूंज रही थी, पाकिस्तान जिंदाबाद. ऐसे मौके पे तो कोई भी अपना इजहार उनके साथ मिलके कर लेता, लेकिन कायदे आज़म ने अपने कभी भी जज्बात को इजहार पब्लिकली नहीं किया, आवाम के सामने इतना खुल के अपना जज्बात का इजहार नहीं किया कि खुश हैं या गम में हैं, कभी नहीं किया. क्योंकि वो एक स्ट्रॉन्ग लीडर की क्वालिटी होती है कि वो अपने ज़ाती जज्बात को कंट्रोल में रखता है और अपने आवाम के सामने इसको ऐसे खुल के एक्सप्रेस नहीं करता, क्योंकि लोग उनको उनकी तरफ ही देखते हैं. तो उनको एक मज़बूत किरदार का आदमी बनना होता है. कायदे आज़म का ख़ुद भी मिजाज कुछ ऐसा ही था. फिर वो ये कहते हैं कि शायद ऐसी बात भी हो सकती है उस टाइम पे, क्योंकि इतने लोगों को मारा जा रहा था जो एक जगह से दूसरी जगह जा रहे थे. ज़ाहिर बात है हिंदू जो थे वो पाकिस्तान की टेरिटरी को छोड़ के इंडिया में दाखिल हो रहे थे और इंडिया में से जो है मुसलमान जो है पाकिस्तान की तरफ जा रहे थे. तो ऐसे मौके पे जिसको जो मौका मिलता था तो वो पूरे टोलियाँ जो जा रही होती थी उनको मार देता था. रोड्स के ऊपर जा रही तो वहीं पे उनके गले काट दिए और खून कर दिया, और रेलवेज़ तो पूरी रेलवे कैरेजेस जो थी उनको जला दिया गया था. ये दोनों तरफ से हो रहा था, क्योंकि एक जो आग लग गई थी उनके जज्बात में, वो नफ़रत की आग भड़क चुकी थी और उसके साथ ही ये पार्टीशन का टाइम था. ये सब कुछ गांधी को भी मालूम था और जिन्ना को भी मालूम था. कायदे आज़म ने ये सोचा था कि ये सब कुछ होगा, लेकिन उनको ये भी ख़्याल था कि ये सब कुछ नहीं होना चाहिए था. लेकिन ही न्यू दैट कि ये एक हिस्सा है. जब आप किसी चीज़ को दो चीज़ों में तब्दील बांट देते हैं तो उस वक्त जो है फिर ये चीज़ें उठती हैं, सामने आती हैं. और ऐसे कंडीशन में जब बहुत खुशी खुशी ये काम नहीं हो रहा था, बल्कि ये एक स्ट्रेटजी और एक मज़बूत इरादे के तहत ये हमने पाकिस्तान हासिल किया था, तो इसमें ज़ाहिर बात है कि लोग तो एक दूसरे के ख़िलाफ़ हो चुके थे. और ये सेंटिमेंट उस वक्त नहीं था, बल्कि उसी ज़माने से हो गया था जब ब्रिटिशर्स सब कॉन्टिनेंट में आए थे. तब मुसलमान और हिंदुओं को ये लगा कि हम मुसलमान हैं तो ये हिंदू हैं, और इनको अपने कल्चर्स में डिफरेंस नज़र आने लगा, और इस तरह से ये चीज़ उनके अंदर दिलो दिमाग में बैठ गई कि डिफरेंस है और हम साथ नहीं रह सकते. तो इस तरह से जो है वो कायदे आज़म की फ़ीलिंग्स थी. और फिर ये कहा गया कि कायदे आज़म जब एक दफ़ा गवर्नमेंट हाउस में अकेले खड़े हुए थे तो उन्होंने मुस्कराए भी थे, और इससे हमें अंदाज़ा होता है कि एक वो वार्म हार्टेड आदमी हैं. तो दिस इज़ फॉर टुडे. वी विल कंटिन्यू द लेक्चर और एंड द चैप्टर इन द नेक्स्ट डे. थैंक यू बेटा.